Waiting on some people to come in. I know somebody out there that agrees with me that that was a clever move by Donald Trump. That was a clever move. It was unbelievable what he was able to pull off. He was able to make campaign promises of never taking us into war, never ever taking us into war, and then going out and bombing the country and keeping us out of war. Matter of fact, he bombed the country and stopped the war. That's an unbelievable task. I don't think no other president could have pulled that off. He was able to go in with a clear objective of destroying Iran nuclear war capabilities, or with his ability to create nuclear missiles and still keep us out the war. That's incredible. Somebody out there agree that no other president could have pulled that off? Because I was mesmerized. I was first like, wow, Donald Trump did all this campaigning on keeping us out of war. Not only did he keep us out of war, he stopped the war. He got a ceasefire. I don't know how much of this was planned or how much of this was just him thinking his way through a problem. But that was a clever move by the young man. That was a clever move. He was able to keep us out of the war and still get his objective done. I wonder how many other presidents could have done that. How many other presidents who had an objective in the Middle East, accomplished their objective and avoid the war? They say a lot about Donald Trump. Now, I'm not a fan of nobody. They say a lot about Donald Trump, but one thing they can't say is he kept us out of this war, still was able to destroy the nuclear capabilities of Iran. And matter of fact, he's actually got it peaceful in the Middle East. He actually got on top of Israel's head and says, I don't want no more war. I don't want no wars. I don't want none of this fighting. We bombed their stuff. We got rid of the thing for y'all. Now stop all that crying over there. Stop all that fighting over there. How many other presidents could have done it? That's all I want to know. What up, though? Murder Mitten? That's right. We from the D. But how many other presidents could have done it? That's what I need y'all to talk to me. How many other presidents could have pulled that off? That was a genius move. I didn't even see it coming. I got a real high IQ. Believe it or not, I might not look like it, but I got a real high IQ. And I didn't see that coming. I said, well, he done drug us into World War III after all this talk about no wars. Actually, he dodged the war. Hola, ¿cómo estamos? But yeah, he dodged the war. ¿Cómo estamos, Jesus? Some of the things he does, the rest of the world can't see the end game. And that's what Donald Trump is sometimes considered a genius. And that's why sometimes he's one step ahead of us, because he sees the end game. When we can't see the end game, a lot of moves he make, this even with the tariffs, and the market looked like they was diving. But that's what you want. You want the market to dive a little bit. It's called a correction. You want the market to dive. That's where you can buy up a lot of stocks for cheap. And then when the prices soar back up, you get rich. But that was a clever move. That was a clever move. I was just sitting here thinking about it. I said, wow, what other president could have pulled that off? I'm not for sure. No other president can go in, bomb a country like Iran, a country that don't mind strapping bombs on themselves to prove their point, and leave out of that situation with nobody hurt. On neither side, he caused no casualties on neither side and ended the war. Yeah, maybe JFK, but JFK he maneuvered Russia out of Cuba, because if Russia would have had them bombs in Cuba, we'd have been in trouble. I mean, they would have been, you know what I'm saying, nuclear bombs sitting 90 miles off our coast. We would have been in trouble. This is what I want to say. How Carter. Yeah. I think Carter wanted to make up for all the stuff he did while he was in president. He was such a bad president, but nobody giving Donald Trump the credit for this move. Nobody. The Democrats are stunned. They thought they was gonna pounce on him about the war thing, that you dragging Americans into war, you using taxpayer money. He actually calmed the Middle East down. You gotta give him credit for it, man. I know people looking like, man, who is you, a black for Trump? I'm not for nobody. I'm not for Trump. I'm not for nobody. I'm not for nobody. I don't believe that we should have people ruling over us at all. But that was a clever move, though. I got to give it up. I got to give that up. The Democrats don't want to do it. Got to stand on this business that Donald Trump is a genius. He actually pulled it off. He actually calmed the Middle East down like it's never been calmed down before. He actually went in there and bombed Iran and got out without not one Iranian getting killed by Americans and not one Americans getting killed by Iranians. Who else could have done it? That's all I want to ask the YouTube world. Who else could have done that? I know it's gonna be a lot of people mad because they think that is a black versus white, rich versus poor, and all that stuff. It's not that. That was a clever move. And ain't too many people can pull it off. I stood there and I was mesmerized when I usually up on things and I could see things coming from a million miles away. Like we say, we from the murder minute. We could see a play when it's getting laid down from a mile away. But this play I didn't see. I said, oh, we in war. It's World War III. You look on my page, I got number World War III. We at World War III. All along, we're going to be having some of the most peaceful times that we had in the Middle East and all that. He's going to get Russia out of Ukraine. Somehow, some way, he's have that way with people where he show them, I'm not playing. I'm not playing, but you're going to stop that fighting. And some people say, well, he turned on Israel. He never turned on Israel. Everybody thought Israel was playing America. America was playing Israel. Look, you're going to do what we say. We'll bomb them for you. We'll bomb them for you. But you're going to do it. We're going to do it our way. And, man, that was a clever move, Donald Trump, man. I got to give it to you. You slicking in a can of oil with that one. You was slicking in a can of oil. You was able to go in there and bomb Iran. That's not an easy town. They don't have no fear. He's able to bomb them, then convince them and Israel to lay down your guns and stop all the fighting. Y'all see y'all see the power we have. Lay down your guns and stop all the fighting. So instead of dragging us into a war, he prevented more people from dying. That's a genius move. I don't agree with a lot of his policies, but now I got to rethink them because I got to rethink, do he or does he have a plan that we just can't see? Is he that much of a genius? He that many steps ahead of us? If you out there, man, hit that like button. Any little gift for $1 or anything, it'll go far to help support this channel. But anybody out there besides me seen the genius in that move? If you seen the genius in that move, or you knew this was a genius move before it happened, tap in. I want to hear, man. Yeah, yo, I don't even know what a Nintendo Switch is, so I might, if I did still have, I'm gonna give it back to you, okay? Because I don't even know what a Nintendo Switch is. I don't play video games. You got me mixed up with somebody else. I don't play video games. So if I stole your Nintendo, what did we say? Nintendo 48, Nintendo Switch 2, I'm gonna give it back to you. Well, I'm gonna donate it to charity. What I'm gonna do with a Nintendo Switch, man? I have very little time for games. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the world. Watch my channel. Take a peek at my channel. Then you come back to me and explain to me when I have time to be trying to figure out if Mario Brothers can jump over a thing or something. But no, for real though, that was a clever move. That was a clever move. Because no other president, Brandon Green, could have pulled that off. No other president that I seen was able to go in, bomb countries, nobody died, get a complete objective done, and then bag out, and then tell everybody that was over there fighting. Nobody tells people in the Middle East to stop fighting, but Donald Trump told the Middle East, put down your guns. And they put down their guns. They stopped. When I was a little kid, they used to have a saying peace in the Middle East, because there was never no peace in the Middle East. He said when he was on the presidential campaign, I'm going to bring peace during my presidency. And he having a little problem with Putin. Putin pushing back a little bit because he won't get out of Ukraine. But besides, he giving Putin that look. He giving Putin that look like, man, I'm telling you, get out of Ukraine. I'm not playing with you, man. That's not a good move. Because I thought we was at World War III. Who else thought we was at World War III? When them bombs hit Iran, I thought he broke every promise he ever made. Chris X said he would never be a genius. That was a genius move, Chris X. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. That was a genius move. Because he was able he was first able to obtain his objective. Nobody died, and then ceased all the back and forth. Now, being a brother from Nation, you got to know that was kind of slick. That move was kind of slick. That was not just no ordinary move right there. That was a good move. Because no other president could have pulled it off. They would have bombed them, then they would have sent troops in behind. They would have got a regime change. I'm looking at the news at the same time. Got a regime change. They would have did all that. You see what Bush did? Bush couldn't have went in Iraq and got out of there and just destroyed the weapons of mass destruction that he thought were there. Donald Trump said, y'all building nuclear weapons. It's not about to be a war. Y'all about to stop building them. If y'all don't want to stop building them, I'm going to stop building them for y'all. And then I'm going to get out of there and tell y'all, ain't no more fighting. Tell Israel, lay down your guns. He tricked, I thought Benjamin Netanyahu done tricked him into a war. Actually, he done tricked Benjamin into putting down his weapons. Donald slick, man. Y'all got to give it to him. I know if you're a real person, because I don't agree with DEI. I don't agree with a lot of things they doing as far as erasing history, removing certain people from positions. But I never seen that move coming. Iran has been threatening to keep making those nuclear weapons if America don't get back into agreements to letting them be part of the world. They had kicked them out of being part of the world, and Iran said, well, we'll build nuclear weapons. Donald Trump was the first president to come and say, I'm going to show you how to shut them down, and it ain't going to be no war. It's unbelievable that the Democrats don't see that. They do see it because you don't see them on TV. They see it. They looking and saying, dang, that what they wanted to say. You started us this war. You pulled us into this war. You used American tax dollars to fund the war. And all along, he done ceased the war. Now I know a lot of people gonna hate me, man. That's cool. You know, somebody on here once said matter of fact, money, I don't have a money problem. I do YouTube, and I do when I get a gift, I get a certain amount of gifts on YouTube. I do get a bonus through YouTube, so I do ask for those gifts, but I'm not really, you know what I'm saying, with my hand out like that. If you want to give a gift, you can give a gift of 50 cents. That'll qualify for that one gift that you're supposed to receive during each live view. But Bush didn't do that. Bush got us in a 20-year war. 20-year war, and you got people walking around with one leg begging for money on the corner. I ain't gonna lie, Bush put us into wars that people came home, half their body gone, now they standing under the bridge asking for quarters. Donald Trump does not he's a businessman. He knows, just like anybody from my murder minute, you keep speaking, I gotta speak with you. Everybody knows that wartime is no money being made. There's no money being made during wartime. Peace is when money is being made. Wartime, money is being spent. So Donald Trump is about money. He don't need to see all them people dying and you fighting over lands that don't have nothing to do with America. So he put an end. He said, y'all two fighting. He like the big brother. Y'all two fighting. Huh, I'm going to take this from y'all. Now y'all ain't got nothing to fight about. They both fighting over a toy. Donald Trump claiming took the toy and said, y'all sit down. Ain't no more fighting. Two cousins. They two cousins anyway. Over there in the Middle East, they cousins. So Donald Trump is a German. We know how to rule the world, even if we lose the world. But Germany, I know wheelchair Winker, y'all having y'all got an issue right now with Putin. Y'all sending them missiles over there to help Ukraine. So Germany better take it easy. Now see Mega all the way. Mega, you have to be a person of good faith to follow Donald Trump because his plan is not visible to everybody. His plan is not visible to everybody, and everybody don't see the maneuvering he does. He's like Farrakhan said. He's not the average he's not a politician. He's a man who came into that position and is going to rock that position. It's going to change that position forever. It's no more business as usual. He's willing to rock it, but people don't understand when he's saying put America first. I know I'll be over talking. He probably say I'm not and trying to troll. No, I get you, man, but I'm serious though. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't too much like Biden, but my thing was I knew he was gonna be a one-term president because people, I think people was dissatisfied with Donald Trump first term and they just wanted to vote somebody in, but no way Biden could have pulled that off. No way he could have seen the move that Donald made. No way, no how he would have ever been able to pull that off. I'm telling you like this. That took a lot of genius move because I think he was tired of the fighting over there. They're tired of the arguing over Iran being a threat to Israel. He said, we got some bombs that'll end that threat. And we don't have to kill nobody. We don't have to get nobody killed, and we can just move on and get back to business as usual. Donald's trying to make billions. He ain't trying to sit here and watch hundreds of thousands of people die. That's one thing I can say about him. You know what I'm saying? That was a genius move. Now, anybody can sit here and argue if they want to, but that was a genius move. I'm on my computer at the same time trying to get some updates. But if anybody could say which president they think could have pulled that off, go ahead and tap in and tell me which president y'all think could have pulled that off. Give me 1 second, y'all. Nope, I'm just looking it up. I'm looking up on ChatGPT. The Democrats have not came out and said, good job, Donald Trump. Nice name. Weirdo. Nice name. Oh, projects in Caseríos. I don't know if they, well, yeah, this thing, they beefing like the Hatfields and McCoys, the Democrats and the Republicans. So no matter what he do, he can plant money trees in the back of everybody's yard. The Democrats gonna still find a way to say something, and vice versa. The Democrats can do something good, and the Republicans gonna see something bad in it. If they can get away from that and focus on doing what's best for the America as a whole, then it won't. I think that in times like this, they could come out openly and say, man, that was a good job. We was able to bomb them and stop that nuclear threat, get out of there without a soldier dying and without a civilian on their side dying. And we done stopped Israel aggression against them. And we back to business as usual. I just want to know. I still haven't seen nobody say the president they thought can do that. That was one of the slickest things. He ain't been in office for 5 months on this term. That was one of the slickest things he did since he been on office. And then he got on TV and cursed. That I can't say it on my YouTube thing, but he got on TV and he told him, man, y'all acting like fools. Stop all that shooting. As soon as I shot my move, you want to go shoot 20 rockets? Come on, Israel, put it down. It's over with. You can't even claim they got no nuclear thing. We stopped that claim you got. So he put a halt to this drum that Benjamin Netanyahu had been beating, saying that oh, we need to stop that nuclear program. That we got to stop. He said, all right, I stopped it. Now what? Sit down, go back to Israel and relax. Because you're costing us money. You're costing us money with these wars. Right. They bagged out of the nuclear treaty because Donald Trump didn't like the nuclear treaty because it put Iran in a financial position where they was making a lot of money. They was able to trade with the free world and they was back in the grace of the free world. And when you do that, it's a lot of behind that because it's a lot about they didn't want to use the American dollar as the the international money for trade. And when you start talking like that, every country's going to be in the eyesight of America. If you decided that the U.S. dollar is not the dollar that we're going to use for international trade, you put yourself in dead in the dead eyesight of the United States of America. So yeah, true light, you're right. When no other, I don't think I just can't see it. I don't think George Washington was that clever. I mean, you can go back. Sometimes he says stuff that seems like it's weighed off, but he really looked at the office of presidency from a different perspective. He didn't come in with the same plan that I'm gonna sit down and just be this president. He thinks while he there. And that was a big risk because Iran, they got Muslims. Them people are ready to die at any time for what they believe. They believe that they are rewarded in the hereafter if they die for a certain cause. So yeah, he took a real risk in dropping them bombs. But what he did, so, sometimes I speak so many languages, I have a hard time. Strategically, what he did was he didn't harm not one citizen. So Iran can't even come up with a clear path to saying we need to go attack America, this, that, and other, because I didn't kill any of your citizens. I stopped the program that I told you to stop, and you wouldn't stop it, so I knocked the program out. But he never killed any of the citizens. So Iran really ain't that angry, besides the fact that, all right, you blew up our building, blew up our facilities, but you didn't harm our citizens. Not, unlike Israel, who come to dropping bombs on whatever. They don't care how many casualties is involved. Man, that was a genius move. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, he stopped it in 2018. I don't think there's nothing left in Iran for America to do. You know what I'm saying? We knocked them off of the what's the name? I want to know, where are the Democrats who going to stand up and say, "Wow, I don't like the guy, but that was a genius move." Where are the Democrats who are, if they true to the what they say and saying they for the American citizens? Why don't you stand up and say that was a good move, what he did, and not an American soldier died, not an Iranian died, and he got the objective accomplished. Where are the people who really, if you really bag this country, if you really bag this country, where you at? Yeah, you're right. Russia and Ukraine could learn from this, but they beef go back just like Iran Israel for a long time. They arguing over that territory. But see, excuse me. But just like nobody stepped into to Russia and Ukraine and really said, "Hey, enough is enough." You know what I'm saying? But Trump did this thing with that when he seen a clear objective. He said, "This is what Iran wanted peace, no war. Israel wanted them nuclear things shut down." Trump said, "Get out the way. I'm gonna take care of all this and put y'all back to square one, y'all." Well, one thing you can't do, you can't erase the knowledge of enriching uranium. You can't erase that knowledge that some of them scientists over there in Iran had. He slowed down their program just enough to bag Israel up and make Israel feel safe. That hey, they're not about to develop a weapon in the next week. But if you are a true American in your heart, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever, you have to say that was a clever move. I only did this because I'm sitting here watching CNN. I can see their faces on CNN. They wanted him to fail, and it's the thing. So they start talking about I don't think we destroyed that thing. Listen, he got them to stop fighting. If he didn't destroy it all the way, they set him back enough. They set him back enough. Your Carney is a clown. Now this gives Mega something to celebrate, but really all of America should be celebrating. Say, Will Parker said, "You a fool." No, I don't think so, because even if you playing chess and you got an opponent, and if you playing chess and your opponent makes a good move, you still have sometimes you have to acknowledge that was a good move. See, I'm a chess player. And if my opponent, if one who I set up as an adversary to me, if they make a good move on the chessboard, I'm gonna say, dang, that was a good move. Dang, I like that move. Even though the move put me in a vicarious position or it could cause me harm in the game, I still have to acknowledge it was a good move. I just can't not acknowledge that it was a good move. See, what happens is, if you think that Mega or MAGA or whatever, however you pronounce it, is your enemy, then you still got to be careful. You got to watch the moves. That was a good move. You at the end of each chess game, we shake each other hands and said that was a good game because you destroyed my king, but that was a good move. I didn't ever see that coming. I didn't ever see the move he did coming. We're not. It was no. I thought it was going to be World War III. Look, it's actually got the most. This the ceasefire, the quietest been since before October 7th of last year. Whatever he did and the way he negotiated, he might have told Israel, "Look, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go do this for you. I'm gonna go do this for you. Then the fighting got to stop." Nobody gonna sit here and tell me that wasn't a clever move. Well, America play poker. Somebody, I love y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I love y'all to death. Somebody say, some they play chess, play check. America play poker. Yeah, America don't. America. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think no other president could have pulled it off. Peace out, our warmongers. Trump went all in. If somebody say America's um a poker player, I believe that. I think Donald Trump went all in with dropping that kind of bombs and targeting them nuclear weapon sites and still thinking he was going to gain peace. He was putting all his chips in the middle of the table. He was putting all his chips in the middle of the table, and somehow, some way, it panned out. That was slick. Nobody can't tell me I'm on this live. I knew when you see like, oh, this brother up here, he's cheering on. I'm not cheering on Donald Trump. We playing chess. He just made a good move. Now I want the Democrats to stand up and say, in America's best interest, the move Donald Trump and his team made, that was a good move. That's it. And you can go back to fighting. You can still be trying to get them out of office, get them, not elected in the next term, but you cannot deny that was a good move. Man, yeah, I am a chess player. Why wouldn't you think that was a good move? I mean, they had a ceasefire after the bombing. You don't see, like it don't take an IQ of 175 and nothing like that to see that, wow, we had a ceasefire when everybody thought we was on the brink of World War III. We had a ceasefire. Now you got to watch my page. I had Donald Trump being played like a puppet by Benjamin Netanyahu. I didn't see the move coming. I didn't see it. But see, I'm a real one. If I don't see the move coming, I'm gonna be like, dang, that was a good move. That was a good move. It's people that's blinded by hate that can say, well, I hate this person, so ain't no move they gonna make gonna seem good to me. But that's not how life is, though. Not for me. Not for me. Being growing up where I grew up, for you try to be one step ahead of your opponent. Sometimes your opponent done got one step ahead of you, and you had to sit back and actually say, "Damn, I didn't see that coming." Obama did sign a. But see, a lot of people who think that just because Donald Trump tore up that treaty for a lot of reasons. Iran had went into negotiations with China to say we don't need the American dollar to do international trade. We do not have to convert our money into American dollars in order to do major trades between two countries. When you start doing that kind of talk, America gonna come after you. They came after Muammar Gaddafi after he said that. They came after Saddam Hussein after he said that. Hugo Chavez said that, and Venezuela ain't been the same since. China and Russia said it, and they ostracized from the rest of the world. Do not have talks about replacing the U.S. dollar, and you're not going to have too many problems with the United States. Somebody's always right today. That's Donald Trump's fault too. Well, Japan need America more than they think, because they sitting right there with Kim Jong Un, or whatever his name is, the Korean president, and America's the only one keeping that country from taking over the Pacific. Dang, see, I'm on tongue. I didn't never say I roll with Donald Trump. I just said, hey, man, that was a good move. Man, I don't never think, see, anybody who been part of sports, anybody been part of anything, have to recognize that, hey, when your opponent or your person you think is your adversary, they make a good move, just give them credit for it. And you continue to try to make the same good moves. That's all. I'm just surprised that It has nothing to do with you and I or the people the citizens. It's these politicians. If all of them claim the same claim that America and the American people are their priority, either one of them was to shoot a good move, I say that's a good move. That's a good move. Obamacare was a good move. It helped insure a lot of people who normally would never have had medical insurance. That was a good move. I don't care how you look at it. That was a good move. Sometimes people make good plays, man. Just give them credit for it, man. Donald Trump, that was a genius move. That was a genius move because I would have betted that we was going to war. I betted that we was about to send troops over there and we'd be marching through Iran right now. You don't think it was a good move? Wow. Man, now they name calling. Wow. That's crazy. Goofy, huh? Internet gangsters. Somebody can hit that gift button, man. Just $1, man. $1 gift. That's all I need. Anybody know anything about YouTube? You get the gifts. They give you the bonuses. You know what I'm saying? It costs $1 to hit that gift button, man. Now people name calling. But I'm saying it's a good move. You say it ain't a good move, then tell me why it ain't a good move. Tell me why it wasn't a good move. Tell me why blowing up a whole country and ending the war without no one dying wasn't a good move. No, see what it is I don't have a um cruiser. I don't have a mindset that where I roots for anybody. I just watches things unfold and call them like I see them. If you go on my page, I was calling Donald Trump the biggest traitor ever because I just wasn't aware of what he was about to do or how it was going to play out. So anybody to say, "Oh, you root for Donald Trump," you must ain't been on my page. I don't root for anyone. I don't root for anyone. Like somebody say, "Oh, you a goofy." No, you really don't. You really don't really have an idea who I am. But I am on here, so I guess this ain't why I seen my life 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm on here, and I'm calling it like I see it. I thought I seen some dumb moves pushing this thing to the break of war, and then it turned out it was peace. I had to stand back and say, "Man, that was a genius move." I just had to give it up. I had to give up the props that was a good move because I was the first one. If you look on my page, I was the first one. I was the first one to to say Donald Trump, you taking this to court even though you have. My last thing, I think the last video I made was we were marching to war, and I got all the videos where he said, "I would never take y'all to war. I'm about peace. You're gonna have the most peaceful time." And I said, "There you go." I got on my thing, it say big liar right there on the screen. But when I seen the end results, I had to tip my hat to the guy. I had to you got to tip your hat to him. Yeah, I could say I said that but I said that in 18 he tore up the agreement that Obama had got with Iran. He destroyed that agreement. But me being an economist, I also studied some of the language that was or the rhetoric that was being tossed around with some of the countries. And every country that had that rhetoric at the time end up in the crosshairs of America. So it was more than just a nuclear treaty that he tore up. It was more to it than that. Iran and all them countries that you see us putting sanctions on and all that stuff, all them countries have the same rhetoric about, what I'm saying, trying to destroy the US dollar. And that, more than anything, is more important to the United States. That's their number one goal. It's crazy, man, but if all these people on here that's saying something negative, then you just point out to me what other president was able to do what he did. If there is another one, I'll be the first one to do a whole story, and I'll sit down, get on, and end up on Cap Cut, and I'll do a whole story if you can find someone who pulled off what he pulled off. It's crazy because no, but see, the thing was there was going to be that tension in the Middle East. Like everybody my age or older know that we've been calling for peace in the Middle East for half a century now. It was going to be that tension in the Middle East. It had to be resolved. It had to be resolved. So it's not like he's he did tear up the thing at 18, but from 18 to 25, that's 7 years. For 7 years, there haven't been no real issues. But I think Israel been afraid for all this time. Iran was never going to go down. Israel was never going to relax, and they got the outside of the United. I mean, well, in the Middle East, they got the most sophisticated army in the Middle East, and they were not going to sit back because they're afraid of a nuclear Iran. So he maybe cleaned up his own mess, but it was a mess that had to be cleaned up because it was too much. Now we gotta just stop the killing of them kids over there in Gaza, man. They gotta stop that. Somebody gotta get in. Somebody gotta be brave enough to stand up and say, no, that ain't right. But this live was to really point out the true genius behind the genius. Anybody mad because I said Donald Trump a genius for pulling that off? Then all right. I do a lot of lives. I'm not doing a vertical live right now. I usually do vertical lives when I'm out and about, but I'm out and about. Right now I'm on a move. You can see I'm in the hotel room right now. But I just gotta call it like I see it. I gotta call this one like I see it. And I just want some Democrats, somebody reach out to their Democratic friends and say, hey man, tell your what's his name, hey, that was a good move. Tell your local representative that, hey, speak up. Be the first one to get up and say, I don't believe in Donald Trump, but I believe that was a good move. That's all you got to do. They should all got together on that stage, the Republicans and the Democrats, and say, hey, As Americans, we shot a good move. We stopped the war in Israel, and we stopped the nuclear program of Iran. Now somebody need to double back and stop the nuclear program of Israel too. But that's another story. But I don't. One thing I can't agree is no Iranians died. No American soldiers died. And it's a ceasefire. We're not going to war, and no one can see that was a good move, a brilliant move. Come on, man. Y'all can't see that was a brilliant move? I'm not patting him on the back for the person he is. I'm shaking his hand saying that was a good move. That was a good job. I would have to evaluate everything he do on an individual basis. I'm not a fan of anyone's. I'm not a fan of anyone's. I just have to call it like I see it. And if you don't see that was a good move, not only on America's part, for the whole Middle East, now all of them can relax over there and just sit back and focus on now getting Israel out of Gaza, getting the food and the aid that them individuals need. They don't need to be distracted, overshadowed by a war between Israel and Iran. They wanted to clown him, man. Y'all know that, man. They wanted to clown the man for taking us into a war that we don't want to be in. And he never had plans on taking us into a war. He just don't speak his plans openly as past presidents would do. They would get on there and basically outline their plans. He don't do it. You just have to sit back and see the end results. And watch to see if the ends justify the means. But see, Red Lines, he didn't create the tension that was in the Middle East. Okay, he might have created the. I want to say you may think he's responsible for the the treaty that they came into agreement with in 15. He tore it up in 18. But there's been this dysfunctional stuff happening in the Middle East since I can remember. Since Israel became a country over 70 years ago, a state, and the problems in the Middle East always been there. I have never seen anyone solve it the way he solved it. I just never seen it. To get them to go into a ceasefire. You know how hard it is to get the Middle East into a ceasefire? No, the ceasefire was broken. That's when he got on TV and made that statement that they're acting like effing fools. You know what I'm saying? And since then, they have not dropped another bomb. So he had called for a ceasefire. Israel violated the ceasefire, and more bombs. And then when he got on TV and said, that's enough, and he gave him that look that your parent give you when, like, I told you once. And it's been ceasefire since then. Oh, it just broken down. Let me look on my computer. Because I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. You said it was just now? Ceasefire violated. And I got CNN playing. I don't see no ceasefire violated. That was over 16 hours ago. That That and 14 hours ago was when he made the that now viral statement of y'all acting like fools, like effing fools. So the ceasefire was broken 16 hours ago, according to 17 hours ago, and Trump slams him 14 hours ago. So that's what I'm saying. Since they slammed him, I don't think there's been any back and forth. Because matter of fact, I got CNN on too. Because of copyright, I don't want to really show CNN. They had strike me for copyright last time I did a thing, um, because something came on that wasn't supposed to be on there or something. But yeah, I'm watching CNN, and it's no CNN would do breaking news. I don't think no ceasefire been broken. Well, I like CNN. I don't know. Oh, you can't see it really right now. But I got CNN on. See, we got to get all the perspectives. See, it can't be one perspective because I'm not gonna try to say us YouTubers are independent journalists. That's what some of us claim to be. We're not really journalists, but we try to get everyone's perspective. You know what I'm saying? And I knew this was gonna shake up the people. I knew a lot of people was gonna say, well, to be honest, you know what I'm saying, you African American and you saying that Trump made a good move. You should never do that. You should downplay everything that he does. And that's just not how it goes. If he do something that you don't like, you say, well, I don't think that's a good move. He do something that you can agree with, damn, that was kind of slick. That's just the way it is. I mean, be yeah. Well, they was about to, he was on edge in the Middle East, but now you see people resting easy. People was on edge in the Middle East. Things was getting out of hand. You don't think so? The Enforcer podcast. Let me see. It's on YouTube. The Enforcer podcast on YouTube. All right, I'll see the Enforcer podcast. Is they live somewhere? Maybe I'm not seeing they latest 2 weeks ago. I don't see nothing. I mean, I'm looking at some pro wrestling show, man. Let me see. I'm about to go on an Enforcer park. It's like a podcasting app or something like that. I'm not about to go on there right now. I might go on there later and check out some of the stuff. It's live. It just say listen to the free app. Let me see. The Enforcer podcast. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I do see Enforcer podcast right here. This say 5 years ago, man. Well, I'm on the wrong thing. Podcast. You sure it's on live? Let me see something. Put live in. Look, I'm trying to get on it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to get on the Enforcer podcast, but I'm not. I see the Enforcer, but I don't see the Enforcer podcast. I see the Enforcer. I'll probably have to check it out. But it Cap for life. You on YouTube? If you on YouTube, I should be able to see it just like you seeing it then. I see the forcer, the enforcer. It don't say like a podcast. Live stream 5 days ago. Stream 5 days ago. Let me just go on there. Let's see if he's streaming now. I think you might have to join some. I don't know. Oh, he is live. He is live. You're right. He is live. Been live. He been live. He is live. The forces started. Clint Eastwood. Dang. Tommy 5-8. Now here goes somebody from Scotland. Now you tell us, but you think that what President Trump did with the move he did in the Middle East, was it a genius move or what? Yeah, that's crazy. Uh-oh, I get some messages I can't see. Let me see. Maybe that's the message I can't see. Oh, so I can't show that. Oh, I was able to see it. I was able to see the it was live, but and for order for the noise background, I really just can't turn it up because it'll echo through the live that I'm doing. And somebody on here trolling like a mother to my Enter the Dragon voted the best movie and greatest movie of all time. No, I'm not a fan. I'm not no one's fan. Zoe, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not a fan of anyone. I'm not a fan of anyone. I don't have no celebrities, no baseball players, football players, singers, rappers, dancers, actors. I'm not a fan of nobody. Politicians. I just call it like I see it. My biggest hero was my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Outside of him, I don't have no hero. I'm just a person who call it like I see it. I'm with you. I don't cheer anyone on. I just the move. It's just you a poker challenge, or you watching somebody go all in when they really don't have a good hand and they win the pot. You say that was a good move. That's all you can say. That's all you can say. It's nothing left to say. It's just mind-boggling that you are a fan of America, which I think most Democrats say they fans of America. Then I would like to see all y'all stand up at one time and applaud to say that was a good move. That's it. That ain't too hard. Scotland, y'all had a lot difficult time with who the Brits, right? The Englishmen, and gaining y'all independence from them, or I'm thinking about Ireland. But every country in every period of time has these conflicts with their neighbors or with neighboring countries. So it is that they have to be resolved, or people gonna die. I live in inner cities of the United States of America, and neighborhoods rival each other, and people die. People die in those rivalries. I got to the point in my life where I'm just saying, how can we avoid all that killing? And we gotta find a way to become rich. And I think that nobody died when America dropped those bombs. The retaliation by Iran, no one died. A ceasefire was at least put into place, or at least talked about, or you say somebody said it was violated. I think I'm looking at a podcast saying it is violated, but what I'm saying is a ceasefire was put into place. It was talked about. So in all, it was a success. It was a successful mission because they nuclear program was slowed down, and no one died, and we're not at war. Well, Scotland had its problems with with England at one time. What is England called? Now the UK. Y'all had your problem with UK at one time. There's no one in history that never had no problem. No, I ain't saying no one could have made that ceasefire. I'm saying no one could have bombed that country, bombed the country, and then circumvented a war. That's essentially what I'm saying. No other president could have bombed that country and circumvented a war. I'm not saying that no one could have came in there and negotiated peace, because Obama negotiated peace through diplomacy and got them to come into agreements with a treaty. But what I'm saying is to be able to go in there and bomb the way they did, they satisfied both parties by not killing nobody in Iran and and slowing Israel's rhetoric of they got nuclear capacity. They almost at enriched into like 60%, 80%, or 90% the enrichment of uranium. What I'm saying is no other president could have bombed that a country like that. Everybody else that bombed a country or went into a country, people died. Once America entered the war, Vietnam War, Korean War, Afghanistan War, Iraq War, and every other place we stepped foot in, when the bombs got to dropping, the troops went in and people died. I'm saying no one would have been able to bomb their country, then circumvent a war, or no one, or then immediately begin the peace treaty, peace talk, ceasefire talk. That's why I'm saying that was a genius move, because he could have went on and on and on just trying to get diplomacy with Iran. That would have been just a normal thing that presidents do: talk, 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 talk. He said no more talking. Went in, bombed him, and then told him, "I'm gonna bomb you, and we ain't gonna fight after this." Man, come on, that's strong. That's strong. I don't care what you say. That's strong when you come in here and bomb me, then say we're not gonna fight anymore. The fight is over with. But I ain't even got my lick back. And they tell you, no, the fight is over with, and y'all ain't fighting no more over here. That's strong. That's a strong move. They knew which one of them plants though that was where the was the ones where they would develop enough uranium, enriched uranium to basically arm a missile with it. So they're gonna have to start all over, and that's all they was doing was setting them back. You can't stop them because they got the knowledge. That's like if you take a carpenter's tools, he's still a carpenter. All he need now is his tools back. That's all. That's all. That's the same thing. He just slowing them down. Now they're going to start talking diplomacy. See, when you so far ahead that you too close to your goal, they set you back. Then they start the talks. So before you get back to reaching your goal that you was at, maybe they'll have another a deal signed or something like that. That's what I'm saying, Will Parker. If you one step away from completing your goal and I knock you 10 steps back, now I got time to try to draw up something to keep you from getting close again to that reaching your goal. And that's all America do. You can't stop them. You can't stop the knowledge. They got the knowledge on how to enrich uranium. So now you set them back, and then hopefully you can negotiate a treaty with them or some kind of incentive. That's what Obama gave them, an incentive. We'll let y'all back into the world, open market, and you could trade with your oil and your goods and all that stuff. Just stop doing it. But you, like Zoe Clark said, no, who was it that said that? One of my people on here said that he tore up the treaty. He tore up the treaty, and look what it did. It pushed us to the brink of World War III. But the move he shot the other day, I think it was Saturday, was a clever move to keep America out of a war, to get his objective obtained, and to back Israel warmongering government up, because they want complete control of the Middle East, and it will cost American boots on the ground. The IDF had to hit the boots on the ground. You're just not going to walk over them countries like that. People are going to have to die, and when wartime comes, there's no money being made. Donald Trump shot a move to slow all that down, and hopefully in his 3 years of presidency, he hopefully he can keep them war drums from beating and make this country a lot of money. Somebody said a pedophile supporter. That's crazy. Wow. How y'all get so far off subject? We talking about, do you think that was a genius move by President Trump dropping that bomb like he did? Now I'm gonna switch it over to CNN. Hopefully it won't be no problem. Y'all can see it now. This is him when he gave them all a tongue lashing. And see, CNN just want to keep saying, "Oh, he used curse word. He used curse word," but he was talking hard to both sides, and we're not used to presidents cursing. He doesn't have he don't understand presidential decorum. He don't. He didn't walk into that office trying to appease the people. He don't mince his words. So instead of them celebrating the fact that that was a clever move he did, they want to say, "Oh, he's just cussed too much." I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But I just don't get it. I'm from a neighborhood where we don't all get along. We don't always get along. But if one of us get into it with somebody else and everything works out for the better, we all come back together and say, "Damn, man, that's a good move. That was good." Even though we don't all get along. I'm from a neighborhood where we were divided by sides, but we was one project, but we was divided by sides. And if one was to do a good move, we all congratulate each other, because at the end of the day, At the end of the day, supposedly we are all supposed to be rocking with the country we from. Supposedly. Now, if anybody feel disenfranchised or they don't feel like they're part of the America for whatever odd reason, you feel like you're not American and you don't rock with America like that. I'm talking about the ones who say they do rock with America. I'm saying the ones who stand up on them podiums and scream for the top of their voice, they all about the American people. Then you say you about the American people. Then this group decided to do a move that benefited American people. Why they all don't celebrate? I don't get it. Somebody lying. Somebody really ain't for the American people. Somebody lying. No, I'm probably one of them. I respect everybody's opinion. I'm clever, man. I got a 160 IQ, and if you really was to look at my page, Brad, I ain't begging nobody to join, but I appreciate if you do want to join. And look at my commentary. I had to come on here because I felt like nobody can outfox me. At no point, my kids even laugh. No, you're not gonna outfox me. I got a look that makes you think that I'm not as intelligent as I am. I have that look, but when it comes down to it, it's hard to outfox me. And that move he shot, I thought like this is gonna be a bad move. Within a week, I can't wait to do another story of how we losing troops and spending money in the Middle East. And look what happened. He circumvented a war. No Americans are going nowhere near that. He asking for a ceasefire. I just can't step back and say, dang, that was a good move. That's what America basically need. I don't want to see us over there bombing Iran. That ain't my objective. To watch a powerful country like this bombing almost a defenseless country. I don't want to see a 2-on-1 Israel and America bombing Iran. That ain't what I want to see. So when the drums was beating for war, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But when I see that we're not going to war, I don't think we are. I said, well, that was a good move. Then you got your objective. You accomplished your objective, and nobody has to die. Talking about my daddy went around. That's crazy. That's my hero, my daddy. That's my only hero I got in this world. I don't look up to no other man in this world. No other man in this world but my daddy. I'm starting to get them hide the message so somebody going nuts. I just ask that everybody that comes on these live, not only this live, any live, listen, we YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to play tough and all that stuff. We YouTubers, man. I mean, whatever we were long time ago, we not that no more. We YouTubers. And we got rules. They got a lot of rules they set for us, especially when it comes to decorum. We gotta be respectful. Let's just be respectful, y'all. You know, keep your views to, you know what I'm saying? Them your views, keep them to yourself. You can't be respectful, you know what I'm saying? Find something else to do. That's all. I know there's a lot of people out there that hate Donald Trump. But even if you hate him, you gotta tip your hat. You know what I'm saying? It's okay when at the end of a boxing match for you to say, good fight. And still want to beat the guy up in the next fight. You know what I'm saying? But if you lose, you say good fight. You hit me with a good shot. I'm not saying I'm an adversary or an ally of Donald Trump. What I'm saying is I watch the news and I call it like I see it. That's it. If you go through my thing, I got things about Sean Combs. I got things about a lot. I'm a very opinionated person, and I'm all over the place with the news. But one thing I never did was took a side. You can't get me to be a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. You can't get me to be a Republican. I'm gonna never be a Republican. You can't get me to say I'm independent and like Bernie Sanders. I'm not any of those things. I'm just calling it like I see it. That was a good move. That was a genius move. Argue if you want to. Argue if you want to. That was a genius move. And those who can't say those who can't accept it, they got a deep hatred for the man. I mean, you just want to see him fail. Now, if you got that in you, that means you pro this or you pro that. I'm not really for any politicians thing. I'm looking at some of the things on CNN right now. It says Israel. Early U.S. intelligence at odds. Now they saying the U.S. strikes wasn't successful. I mean, just like there's no way they dropped them bombs and didn't cause any destruction. But if they didn't, that's cool. We just don't want them continuously dropping bombs on Iran. We want to focus on America and the problems we got here. They trying to take away Medicaid, housing assistance, food assistance. That's what we need to be focused on. We don't need to be focused on no Middle East. He got us in and out that situation, and I think that was a good move. And I stay on topic because of what I put up on the thing. I could go off into what I think he's doing wrong or things I might think he's doing right, but I'm just talking about specifically the movie shot in Iran. That was a clever move. I get that he created it. That was in 2018. I get that, but that's like spilled milk. Ain't nothing you can do to erase that. He got us out of the treaty with Iran, but at this point, 2025, things were getting out of hand. And I'm just saying, I was assuming that when he dropped them bombs, he was only starting the war. He never intended to start a war. That was never the intention. And I don't know if Israel played a part, knew all along that we are not starting a war. What we need to do, if we can get y'all to drop them bombs on that thing and bag us out, we'll bag out. We don't want a war. I didn't see that coming. That's all I'm saying. I didn't see that coming. I thought, here it is, BB or whatever they call him, is moving Donald Trump like a puppet. But all along, Donald Trump was maneuvering like, all right, how do I get in and out this situation without losing any lives or starting a war? And he was able to do it. Name another president that could. That's what I'm waiting on it. I mean, y'all keep saying everything, but the name not going across there. I need to see the name of the other president that could have dropped a bomb, start bombing the country, and then within 48 hours talking about a ceasefire. This country ain't even got a chance to get his lick back yet. That's like me running up to you, slapping you in the mouth, and before you cock your hand back to slap me back, I'm saying, let's talk about this. Let's be peaceful. You know how clever that is? For me to come smack you in your mouth, and then before you get to raise your hand to smack me back, I'm saying, let's talk about it. That is clever. When I say smack in the mouth, I'm not talking about literally somebody smacking somebody in the mouth. I'm just saying when they dropped a bomb on Iran, that was symbolically saying that that's a slap in the mouth to bomb my country. And I don't even get a chance to get my lick back. Because before I can get my lick back, we talking peace already. If no one sees that was a genius move, that's crazy. I know I'm not the only one that's seen it. I got to get back on my thing. Now, if there's no ceasefire move, I do a whole new story and say, hey, the plan didn't work. But America, as long as America isn't driven into the war, that's the key. The key. I'm saying talking peace. But I'm not saying he made peace. He talking peace. To even be talking about a ceasefire, to even when you just bomb somebody, to even, what I'm saying, had the audacity to ask this country to be talking peace after you bombed them. He never planned on sending American troops over there to fight. I thought he did. I thought that was his objective. I thought he was entering the war, and I thought all HELL was about to break loose. See, I keep telling y'all, I'm watching CNN, and I don't see this breaking of the ceasefire. They would be the first one to report it. They would be the first one to report it. But they are not reporting the breaking of the ceasefire. But I understand that y'all got somewhere that y'all getting this news from. But I'm just not. I'm not getting that news. Somebody said any. No, I don't think any president could have did that, because when them presidents cock them hammers back, they got a switch on them. They just get the fire. They don't care. And then Bush could have did it. Bush went in there and we was in that war for 20 years. All right. A lot of presidents could have done it, but which one of them did do it? Everyone that entered a war, American troops died. When Americans bombed something, American troops died after that. Yeah, that's true. Public enemy number one. That should be our main focus. A dollar is being weakened. All of us in America, we worked hard. We work hard to achieve that American goal or live that American dream of being rich, famous, and this, that, and other. But if your dollar is devalued in the rest of the world, you're gonna be carrying around a peso in a minute. That's gonna be a peso. It's gonna be worthless. And anybody who travels overseas knows that when you wave that dollar bill, them people come running to you. You give them a $20 bill and they want to give you 19 Bohemian dollars back. No, I don't want them Bohemian dollars back. I spent $1 and you're gonna give me 19 Bohemian dollars back. But if we don't watch the devaluing of our dollar, that's it's not gonna be worth that. It's gonna be cost you more money overseas. You're gonna need $20 to buy a $10 item overseas. People not watching that. But see, if anybody watch my channel, I had a whole story on that. Every president in every country that decided to try to devalue the American dollar has found itself either under sanctions or in somewhere in the cross hairs of the United States of America. So we don't need to be in the Middle East playing around. Yeah, our dollar bill is being devalued. And BRICS, when y'all hear them say the word BRICS in the country, BRICS is one of the first ones the ones that came together, who is the first ones who want to say that we don't need the American dollar. We can use crypto as way to, negotiate major deals with international major deals. China, I think, and they yen or whatever they use over there now, they did a deal with France and they didn't convert their money to the American dollar. That's a bad sign. When they didn't convert their dollar to that's why Donald Trump said, let's end this stuff in the Middle East. We got bigger fish to fry. America has bigger fish to fry. We got our economy is going to HELL right here, right now. And that's what I'm saying. He got in and out that situation without nobody getting hurt, man. That was a clever move because we have bigger fish to fry. And I'm talking about with this Republican Party. Talking about taking assistance away. You taking our tax dollars and shipping them overseas to Ukraine and to Israel for they war efforts they got going on in the middle. Our US dollar should be going right here, staying right here. We work hard every single day and then got to wrestle with the IRS for how much money they done took out of our checks and how much money we owe them at the end. They want money off these YouTubes. That's crazy, but they do. They want money, 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 money. And our money is going somewhere else. They say, well, some people don't do this and some people don't do that. They don't deserve Medicaid. Yeah, I'd rather my money go to a person who doesn't have health insurance. I'd rather them be able to enjoy health insurance. I don't want to get too far off a topic. My main topic tonight was a lot of stuff I don't agree with. I didn't see that move coming. For him to switch on and off like Iran, we ready to bomb, then come back and say we don't want no more fighting, peace talk, and all that. Iran got to be looking like, wait a minute, how are we talking peace? And we got 3 blown up facilities, and you talking peace? Yeah, we back at the negotiating table. That's strong. That's mafia type strong. That's strong business. And then whether he friend or foe, you like him or you don't like him, you have to stand on that and say, that was kind of strong. Because you put belt to behind, you put your belt to they behind, and then send them on saying, and don't be doing all that crying either when you go in there. That's strong. That's strong. Our debt is over 300 million. I know that. I don't know what debt you talking about. We in the trillions. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you really want to get down to, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can get into a lot of different topics because we, like you said, the common man in America is struggling to make ends meet, struggling to being able to afford foods, watching restaurants and grocery stores just raise prices. Like it seems like they just doing it out of man, they just doing it with ease. I don't even know how inflation is going up the way it is, but it's just like you go into the store and it costs 50 cents more, costs $1 something more. For what? A war with Iran would really skyrocket the gas prices right now. They closed that port down, the gas prices go up, the truckers go up, now the prices of food go up, and here we are again. Another big jump in inflation. I think that's another reason he had to stop that war. I mean, he had to stop that right then and there. Yeah, they spending the American tax dollars. They're never gonna. You're never gonna feel the weight of inflation or hard times or recessions if you taking the money straight from the people who you cause the suffering from. We pay their salaries, so they secured in their positions, but we vote for them though. That's crazy because some people we vote them in. You got to start voting in your best interest. You got to vote in your best interest. You vote a person in, then next thing you know, they sign a bill that causes you hardship. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. Pelosi. Pelosi eating a $300 ice cream. I don't believe that because I don't think Pelosi, old as she is, man, I don't know who voting for this lady to represent them, man, at 90. Was she 90? Close to 100? She's just in the way, man. She had a video, man. That got to be against her doctor's wishes. Any kind of sweets at her age should be against her doctor's wishes. I understand though. I get what you mean though. She been in politics for a long time. She been playing the stock market kind of. She kind of smooth in the stock market, Pelosi. So she using her position as a politician to make money off the stock market. And when you making money off the stock market, you're gonna be rich. you're going to be able to afford $300 ice creams. Because anybody and everybody know it don't matter which way the stock market going up or down, it's money to be made. Especially if you're a day trader. But even if you aren't a day trader, when them stocks going down, you know when to buy and which ones to buy because you know which one's going to rebound if you're a politician. So the stock market, everybody think the stock market got to be going up for you to make a lot of money. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's why when the tariff thing was going on and the stock market was dropping, some of us knew that this was the best time to buy. Because somewhere in Donald Trump wicked mind, he had a plan. He knew he wasn't gonna let that stock market bottom out. Somewhere in his wicked mind, he knew that tariff would rock the world. There's no way he did that without a backup plan. And the backup plans when everybody thought look, you bottom out the market, you bottomed it out, he take the tariffs off and the market shoots out the roof. And everybody that followed his lead probably made a quick $1 million. I told my son, I said, hey, put you much money as you can. He said, Daddy, I put all that money into Merrill Lynch. No, he didn't do Merrill Lynch. He did not Fidelity. He did I forget which one my son did. He did Morgan Stanley. No, which I think he might have did Fidelity. I think he might have did Fidelity. But when it was dropping, he's like, I'm losing all my money. I'm losing. I said, just be patient. Just be patient. Just be patient. And when that market rebounded, he was up almost 13% on his own investment. So it's sometimes it's a method to that madness. And that war in Iran, it's a method to his madness. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna critique him though when he ain't doing right because I'm not a fan. If he do something wrong, I'm gonna critique it. But this live tonight was about how he shot a genius move. He spanked, he put belted behind on Iran and then told them, go sit down and don't cry. That was a genius move. So take it for what it is, you know what I'm saying? And whether you believe in him or not, as a Republican or a Democrat, you got to stand up and say he made a good move for America. Yeah, but you got to realize that I think it's a movie or something like that. If you know something can make the stock market go up or down, just think about this. Think about this clearly. If I can make the stock market go up and down at my leisure, all I have to do is start talking tariffs, and the market will sink. All I got to do is tell them buy it, buy right now. It's cheap as a dollar store. You can get any, and all I got to do is say I'm taking my tariffs off, and I know the market gonna shoot back up. It's one thing for him to be talking about markets for 40 years. It's one thing to be in control of that market. Now he's in control where the market go ups and down. That's a big difference. That's a big difference when you are in control, or rather the market go up or down. Then you can force the market down and have everybody in panic mode. And you know with just words from your mouth that market going up, man, that's a win. I mean, how could you lose? How could you lose? And I bet you it just ain't Donald Trump. Somebody's telling him, man, put tariffs on everybody. The market gonna bottom out. We're gonna buy up this stock right quick and then take the tariffs off. Stop the tariff war after that. Sound good, but take the tariff war off and watch the market rebound. And watch how much money we make. That same stock that costed $10 or $10 a share, or whatever, I bought it at $2 a share. Now it's back up to $15 a share. Sometimes it be a method to that madness. That's right, RT 1986. Especially when I was day trading, I don't care which way the market going. If I can forecast which way the market going, I go on my bar chart and it's tell me the market about to go down, and I do my 20-day or my 20-week evaluation, my pivot points and all that, and I find that market going down, I'm gonna make just as much money when the market going down as I am when the market going up. The stock market is all about prediction. But if you control, that's like almost like insider trading. If you not guessing, you know when the market going up and down. Ah, indeed, though you're gonna be a millionaire, billionaire. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. If you could predict which way the market going with confidence and not be guessing, or Como lost the mayor race. He conceded. I'm just giving y'all some breaking news if y'all not watching it. Como ain't gonna be the mayor of New York. Yeah, you can make the. I told you my son got 30. He panicked on me, but he made 13%. But if I can predict, I keep my son away from day trading because you have to really be motivated. I mean, you have to really be dedicated to watching the market every minute of the day. You got to order the IBM. You have to you have to be really into charting and focusing because outside of the pandemic, you had to have a lot of knowledge about the market in order to keep up with it. When the pandemic came, they didn't even let us do trading by margins. They didn't let us do trading by margins. I think when the pandemic was going on because it was so much money to be made, no matter which way that market was going, and it was unpredictable. So any person with $2,000-3,000 could have got rich. You ain't need 2 or 3 thousand really. You could have had about 1,500. No, trading is an art. Trading is an art. Everybody wants to be on that boat like when Bitcoin first came out or when Microsoft first came out and they was giving the stock away. And next thing you know, the people was millionaires. Gardeners that was working for Microsoft was paid in stocks. They became millionaire gardeners, millionaire secretaries. But you don't never know when that one gonna take off. You don't know if you're gonna buy some stock and it's gonna belly out and you lose everything that you invested. But for long-term investing, people think about investors like the Hathaway, Warren Buffett. You think about people like that, you try to follow his lead if you can on long-term investing. But if you see, a lot of people was trying to see which way that it was going with this oil crisis. This oil crisis was about to turn the world economy upside down if Iran would have decided to close them ports or cause trouble with the tankers coming in and out them ports, then it was gonna jug the market like a mug. And if you was a day trader or yeah, if you was a day trader, you had to put everything on that market about to go down. Find you a pivot point where you think how far you think it's going down, and then start betting on when you think it was gonna come back up. I'm not giving anybody no stock trading advice because that's what I'm not even qualified to do. This probably going up broke. Day trading, I know it ain't easy. So don't listen to me. Whatever you do, don't listen to me. I don't want nobody coming back with no disclaimer saying that hey, he told me to do this and that. I'm not a professional day trader. I'm not a professional stockbroker. I have dabbled with the stock market, but I'm not a professional at all. What I am a professional is recognizing when somebody done made a good move, and Donald Trump did an excellent job in getting us in and out of that situation in Iran with no casualties and slowing down, if not stopping, the war between Israel and Iran. It's a little bigger than that's going on, but nothing like the barrage of bombs that you seen night in and night out. And he was able to destroy that thing and not piss, well, not, I won't say that word, I don't know if that's a good word or not, but not agitate Iran so much that they want to retaliate. I don't think they even have any desire to retaliate. But I enjoyed y'all. It's 11:30 here in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm about to say good night to y'all. But I appreciate everybody that came on here. I appreciate everybody paying. Those if people came on here and say I'm a goofy. If people came on here and say good job. So I take the good with the bad. I can't expect all good. I don't expect all good. I done got to the point where you just got to take the good, the bad. You win some, you lose some. Donald Trump hit a genius move. With that move, he shot with bombing Iran and not getting no repercussions behind it, and slowing down the confrontation between Israel and Iran. That was a genius move. If you agree, hit the like button. Before I get up out of here, get them likes up. You know what I'm saying? You could always purchase a special gift or a super tag if you want to. If you want to support the channel, it always greatly appreciated. Not just subscribe. All of it goes to helping the channel. Subscribe, like, share, all the good stuff. All right, y'all. I want y'all to have a good night. I'll see y'all next time.